What's up, everybody? It's Roger. I just want to take a quick second to thank you all for listening in. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell, do all the things. But this episode will be quick and easy. Well, maybe not so quick. But episode 5, recap.
You're listening to Cosplay Colorado, your source for cosplayer entertainment.
All right. Episode 5, take 2, actually.
Yeah.
We had to delete the first one, which was over an hour long. Not the reason we deleted it. It was because I was oblivious enough to forget to turn on Angel's microphone. So we are here in episode 5, take 2. So, how you doing today, Angel?
I'm doing great.
This is the hesitation in your voice.
I'm doing wonderful. Yeah, thanks for asking. Again, that's fantastic. You can tell obviously the mic level's working now because you can see it's the spike when I laugh because I'm hilarious. Yeah, man, I'm doing pretty great. This is nice. It's a nice change of scenery. You know, I usually spend most of my time inside, dormant in a room, blinds closed because life.
Maybe working on your own personal podcast from time to time.
Maybe, just possibly. Check out Illiterate and Childish on immediately, just like going for the plug.
Straight into it.
It's like, hey, what's your name? Illiterate and Childish. Yeah, check me out, man, at any time.
I mean, hey, we got to do it. We got to do it.
We got to do. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the thing.
This one might actually end up shorter than the other one.
Yeah, it might be. Who knows?
We'll see. We'll see. All right. So going straight into it.
Yeah.
Where are we in Cosplay Colorado? Well, right now we are episode 5. First 4 episodes were awesome. First episode was just an introduction of myself, kind of explaining what I want to do with this podcast, where I want to go with this podcast, and who I want to have on this podcast, honestly, which is local cosplayers.
Exactly.
I started this podcast to talk about local cosplayers and to talk to local cosplayers, and I've gotten into it relatively well. We'll see where it goes, but I definitely am having a lot of fun bringing other people on, because that brings us to episode 2 with Omega Shrine Cosplay.
Yeah.
That was a ton of fun. I've worked with him in the past during like photo shoots and recently for the podcast, and we're actually trying to work out the details on trying to get another photo shoot for his Goblin Slayer, which never seen that anime either.
Yeah,
but I hear it's great.
I've heard good things,
and I've been meaning to watch it. I just horrible at doing things, following through.
Yeah, that works.
But yeah, that one was definitely probably one of my favorite ways of opening the podcast, was have somebody that I'm familiar with already on here. Then we had episode 3. I had my friend Randy on here, just to get like an outside perspective on cosplay. Which you're not a cosplayer, but you're familiar with the cosplay scene, right?
Yeah, definitely familiar with it. I mean, I've seen it, I followed it. I follow a lot of cosplayers, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's because you think this individual's hot or whatever." And I'm like, "No, man, it's because they have cool costumes and
because they're hot."
That's a plus all on its own afterwards. No, but no, these people are extremely talented, man, and I appreciate all of it. I think the media that they do cosplay in, I would suggest just keeping the bottle cap off. It'll be easier that way, just in case the mic catches it, the twirl.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I was just like, nope. But yeah, like Jessica Negri is a big one that I followed for years, and the only reason I followed her is because she was like part of the main advertisement for the game Lollipop Chainsaw.
Yeah.
And
I remember that. That was a while ago.
That was like 8 years ago or something like that.
Yeah. Wow.
I love that game, and then and I think Instagram was just becoming a thing.
Yeah, it had just started blowing. I think she first started blowing up on YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah, because she has her own channel. I don't know if it's still like active, but I remember she had her channel for a bit. Followed her, and just a few other people. I forget their names. It's been a long time. Like I still follow them. I just it's been a long time since I've actually
definitely
gone through and stuff like that. But no, a lot, because a lot of the YouTubers that I primarily watch or anything, a lot of them, like, their significant others are cosplayers.
Yep.
they're all into the same stuff. They're all into like anime. They're all into movies. They're all into video games, and you get a lot of cool little cosplays here and there from characters that you've grown to love, like as a kid. And I think that's one of the cool things about it. So I'm definitely aware of cosplay existing and what they do, just not how.
Yeah,
I guess
that's one of the things that I hope to kind of achieve with this channel, is like have people get that little bit of progress going, like how do you do this, why do you do this kind of thing. But I know a lot of cosplayers, like with Steven or Omega Shrine Cosplay, they'll post their progress photos of like, here's what I'm building and how I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Other times you get like little snippets from other cosplayers. Like in episode 4, I interviewed Emily or Glitterbomb Cosplay, and on her Instagram, it's definitely like a little bit of here's what I'm working on, but it's also a lot of like, here's the final product, which I have no problem with. It's an awesome thing to see because I still know that she's still kind of creating on her own.
Exactly.
And cosplayers that honestly they that create their own cosplays, I have a lot of respect for. I have a lot of respect for cosplayers in general, just because of a lot of the stuff they have to deal with when they're at cons. Like even if you don't have to build your own costume or anything, you still have to deal with a very, very large variety of just criticism, like harsh criticism a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I see might be a fallback with, or not a fallback, but a fault in social media. And it sucks, but hey, where would we be without the haters, right?
Yeah, exactly. Where would we be? I don't know. Probably doing something like working at a retail job or something.
Probably like working full time at a big technology store.
That's primarily what we'd be doing, right? It's not, I don't know. Just spitballing here. It's just a little spitball. Yeah, man. Social media is great, but it's also it's 50-50.
Yeah,
it's 50-50 thing, and I think that goes anywhere because you get your criticism from individuals who like love hearing you or love following what you do, and then you get and who are like very like, wow, like this is really good, but you know what would really elevate you? Like they use those words where you're like, that makes me feel good. Like you're giving me the criticism, but also like I feel great about it.
Yeah.
And then you get the other ones like, well, man, you look great as Spawn, but like who looked way better as Spawn? Like, and it's like Michael J. White, and you're like,
yeah. Although he did do a pretty good job.
Yeah. But what was given to him? Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, yeah. But that's one of the things that I notice a lot in like the cosplay community is the fans that try to give compliments but don't know how, or they try to give compliments and they do it in a very bad manner. Like there's a cosplayer that I've mentioned on pretty much every episode so far. Her name's Jenny D.
Yeah.
You'll get a lot of people that comment good comments, like good actual feedback saying, hey, this is a really good cosplay, we love what you did here, like I love the attention to detail, or I really like how this turned out. But then you get that one guy who feels like he's paying a good compliment and goes, hey, this is a really good cosplay, but you look so much better as Arya Stark, because that's kind of like I that's how I found out about her, was her Arya Stark cosplay from actually Denver Pop Culture Con's Instagram page. They posted a photo of her in the Arya Stark cosplay. I was like, that is really good. But for me, I don't follow people because they look like
Maisie
someone.
Williams? Yeah,
right? But yeah, I don't follow somebody because they look like a particular person. No. I follow them because they do good work. That was why I've started following Jenny D, is because she does good work. That's why I follow Omega Shrine. He does good work. So I follow all of the cosplayers I do. Glitterbomb Cosplay, Planet Girls Denver, all of them. They all do really good work.
And it's that like small detail that they focus on, that that the small things are the ones that matter the most. Like
exactly.
Because like who would have known? Like right? Like you would never legitimately sit there and go like, man, like if I were to see like a Digimon cosplay, like for like let's say somebody dressed up as Tai Kamiya. Tai Kamiya is the main character of Digimon for all of you guys who don't know.
Got to be a 3-foot white kid.
Yeah,
with ridiculously large hair.
It's like large hair and the goggles, right? And it's like, and somebody's just like, I got some purple goggles, right? And then but you see like this other guy has like square white goggles with the blue band in between, and you're like, oh my god, like look at that. Like, this dude went all out and, you know, he did it. Like, his shirt has the stars and, you know, you're going all in. Like, instead of just wearing, like, a blue t-shirt, it's like these little, small little details that do matter to you as much as you would like to neglect it. And, and I think that's what makes it cool. Like, seeing something like that, where it's like, yeah, like, a standard, like, anybody seeing it would have never have noticed it, but it's like the diehard fans would be like, dude,
God,
you did it. Like, no, I've never seen anybody do that, because everybody kind of just grabs it together and goes like, yeah, I did this. Like, it's cool.
Oh, yeah. And that's one of the things, like, when I first met Jenny D, it was 2 years ago, the Comic-Con before last year in Denver, and she brought her Arya Stark, and she had, like, all of her, like, she had her costume set up on a mannequin, and it looked like it was so well done that it looked like something that you would, like, buy at a store or something. Yeah. So I asked her, like, I walked right up and was like, hey, like, I've never really seen Game of Thrones all that much. Like, I've seen a couple episodes here or there. I've actually, now that I think about it, I've actually gotten a season and a half into it, and then I got busy. Yeah. But I asked her, how did you approach this? Like, how much of this did you do, and how much of it is this, like a template or something? She was like, none of it. I did the whole thing.
That's insane.
Yeah, like, I looked at her, I was like, did you really? Like, that looks time consuming. Like, that looks like it would do, like, it would take so long just to be able to get, like, the top part of the garment done. She was like, yeah, I do this full time.
And just a quick side note on that. One thing that we didn't mention in the first hour that we recorded. Dude, these guys go into their conventions, right? And they plan their life around this.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, I'm gonna go do 3 days of whatever convention that's coming up, right? And for most of those, they're like, I have 3 costumes lined up.
Yeah.
And they have like a suitcase, like, filled with their stuff, you know?
And regular clothes. Like, they have a suitcase for their cosplays and then a suitcase for their clothing.
Yeah, and like,
it's insane.
And they're like, tomorrow I'm doing Arya Stark, but, you know, the next day after I'm gonna be this, and you're like, that's crazy to think, like, that you this is what you're doing. Like, you're planning out, like, and it's not just one individual thing that's happening.
Yeah, it's these people put in so much time and so much effort with all of their cosplays, all of their work, all of their costumes, getting it all together and just having it built for the next con. Granted, like, there are some people that are like, oh, I've had this costume for years and all I do is, like, touch ups and that's it. And then you get other people, it's like, oh, Dragon Con is in 3 months and I'm halfway done with this one cosplay, but I want to have one for these 4 days. Here's my lineup. I'll have it done by then. It's like, there's no way, but they always pull it off. It's like, how?
Yeah.
Like, you can tell these people abuse themselves to get this. Like,
to get what they want.
Oh, yeah. They just beat themselves up. They'll come home from work. If they're not doing it full time, they'll come home from work and they'll just right away start going at it, like, at the sewing machine or the styling wig or what have you.
I mean, it's like hours upon hours. Because if you think about it, like, these guys are working their full-time jobs, they're working their 8-hour shifts, and they're probably coming straight home, working their extra 8 hours there, getting a few hours of sleep, and then going in for their 8-hour shift. Like,
yep. Oh yeah, exactly.
It's to have that time, that commitment, and I think that's something that I, like, have recently, like, been pulling on as well. It's like, there was a certain point where, like, I think as we get older, we don't have enough time to do anything. But it's, like, all really just time management. Like, if I really want to do something, I can. Like, there's times where, like, I'll wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm like, I'm good. Like, I'm doing all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And then the next day I don't wake up until, like, 1 p.m. And I'm like, if I would have woken up at 6 a.m., you know, I could have had all of this done. But I don't have the drive.
And that's something that I admire the most from, like, creators in general. It's like the amount of motivation you have to do things is insane. Like, for me right now, my biggest thing is I want to try to get more in shape. So I've been telling myself for the past, like, 2 weeks, all right, I'm going to get up in the morning, I'm going to go for a run. I just got to get my cardio in, I'm going to go for a run. Still have not done it to this day.
That's fair.
I almost did this morning. I actually got up with my alarm, turned it off, sat down, and I had my window open. This nice cool breeze. It's like this nice Halloween breeze comes through the window, and I just felt super comfortable. And my eyes were still heavy, and I remember feeling that like cold grasp around my back, and I was like, and it's back to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, it's so difficult to do anything with that. And when you find people that have that motivation, especially with cosplayers, with like all the cosplays they have lined up and all the projects they're working on, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like you used to be a part of a band. We talked about that in the first take.
In the first take,
But like, how much of your time did you actually have to dedicate to that craft?
We had 3 or 4 days of band practice, and when we had a show, we'd usually do the 5 days. So it'd be 5, and then the 1 day for the show, then the show. So it would be 6 days directly of us just doing this. But it'd be 4 days of like band practice throughout the week. And we do 3 to 4 hours of practice.
Yep.
And it's literally just like repeating these same songs over and over again, and making sure that when I'm doing something, I'm not screaming, like ridiculously weird, like, and making sure that my diaphragm is used at all times, and like making sure that they have their hands in the right place at all times when they're playing guitar, so they don't like mess up their fingers, like just like
get that scratch when they hit the next note.
Like it's just a lot of work, and a lot of time went into it, and it's crazy because I remember going in, like us starting the band, and I'm like, it was so much fun, and it was a great time. Don't get me wrong, we had a lot of fun. And we'd mess around a lot of the times during band practicing, but when we did our work, we'd do our work, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that was the drive. We wanted to do it. We loved it. But it was just like, you never realize how much work you have to do until that moment. Like when you're like, we're doing it, and it's like, all right, guys, we have a show this weekend. It's like, yeah, man, we do have a show this weekend. So let's play. We're going to do this whole set list 3 times while we're here. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to do it 2 more times. Yeah. Awesome. Each set list, we did like 5-6 songs, 20 to like 30-minute sets, right?
Yeah.
And we're just like, cool, man. And then you're like obviously, like you also want to practice on your stage presence as well while you're doing it. So you're like exhausting yourself.
Because you were the front man too, right?
Yeah, because you're trying to figure out like how you're going to get the crowd back like into it as well. Because you're up here like on this like higher plate, and then you're like looking down on individuals, and like so you're like, hey man, what's up? Haha. And they're just like, and you have to like some way you have to make like persuade them by like whatever you're doing to like get them into it as well, especially because we were primarily metalcore, so we were we had like our breakdowns and stuff like that, so people would get into the pit and stuff, and we have like you'd have to like just pump them up, man, like get them going, like, and if you're not doing anything, like they're kind of just like, why is he just standing there kind of deal. And I remember like one of my first instances for our show, like I recently shared on Instagram like a video of myself, and it's like, I don't know if I can cuss on this. Can I cuss on this? Am I allowed to cuss on this?
Sure. I'll just put explicit content on the YouTube thing.
Awesome. And I was like, it's like me not giving a fuck then and now, like, right? And it's like me coming off a stage, like as soon as the last scream goes, like I like scream, and then I just like drop my mic and I walk off the stage. And I remember like walking off a stage, and like our first show was a talent show, and we played like 3 song covers.
Yeah. And
everybody was like, it's like, oh wow, Angel did like the coolest move ever. Like, he just walked off a stage, whatever. And I'm like,
you don't see that from.
And I'm like, nah, dude. Like, I was nervous. I was so nervous. Like, that was our first official show. Like, the most we had played for before was like our girlfriends at the time who were there at the band practice, and our drummer's parents and like our guitarist's parents. Cause that's where we primarily jammed. Yeah. The most people we ever played for, and then like 10 people maybe at a park when we did like an acoustic set like years before. Never played a show before. So like their first show was like 100 and whatever people that were like there for the school talent show. And I just remember like walking out on stage and being like, hey, hey, I'm Angel, Dream Alaska, whatever. Come,
come check us out.
Open up these curtains, let's start this thing, whatever. Let's get these mics on. And then like I walk back in and like super awkward, and like you see me on stage and it's like completely different. Like,
completely different person, yeah.
And then, like, as soon as, like, the last part hit, like, I, like, looked out and I was like, holy crap. Like, this is, like, it's happening. And I was just like, cool, done. And I just, like, dropped my mic, and you just see me walk behind everybody. I'm just like, I'm done. Like, I was just, like, beyond myself. I just could not do like I it all sunk in right then
Stage
and there.
fright like that.
Like just immediately at the end though. Like at the very end. Like that's when it hit and I was just like, oh God, like I just did this. Like and then like our next show was like we were level field with like people and it was maybe like 50 people or whatever.
Yeah.
Like and that was our first official show with like original songs and stuff like that.
Nice.
And like we got shut down twice throughout our set because they said no moshing, and of course our band was primarily the only heavy band there.
See, that's lame.
Yeah, they're like no moshing. We're like, all right, cool. Well, we'll try not to. And then like my vocalist is like, or because we had a singer at the time, and he was like drunk or something, and he was like, oh yeah, let's get this pit ready, and he starts like he's the one jumping in and into the pit to start it, and it's like it's weird like transitioning between it because you're like at one point you're really worried. You're like, dude, and then like slowly through time, like kind of like the podcasts, like like you're nervous. Like you're like at first you're like, how are people going to perceive this? Like me or like talking about the speech thing, you know, like like me saying all the time and going like like kind of just like me
fillers,
like filling in without trying to. And that's just how it works. Like that's exactly how it felt. Like just like me going there and being like, oh man, I'm really nervous every time. And every time we played a show, it got worse and worse. Like,
oh man,
because we'd get more people. Like it'd be more people coming every time. Like for I think we took like a break. Like after the first year, we took like a long break, and we were like, yeah, you know, we lost our singer, we lost one of our guitarists, we got another guitarist back in. And he were like, you want to play? Like it was our first guitarist that we kicked out, and he was like we need you to play a couple songs with us on like just live. He's like, I'm down, cool. He did it. It was nice enough to do it with us. And we did this comeback show, and it was I think we had dropped 2 tunings from then. So we started off at D, went to C, and then we dropped to B.
Wow.
Yeah, we were at B at the end of it, and we got rid of all clean vocals. It was just screams because I was exhausted after I had to do it for like 2 shows by myself. And I was like, okay, cool, we'll do this. And we sold out the venue. Like it was a hometown venue. It was all local bands. I think we were third to last.
That's awesome.
And we didn't we headlined the last time, but this time we were like, no, like we'll put you guys here. And like nobody knew what to expect because we like dormant. Like we didn't post on social media. We didn't talk about working on any new songs or anything or redoing anything. Like it was just like everybody. What they last heard was like us at Drop C. Like still kind of mellow and like just like still singing and stuff like that. That's the last time. And like they like we come up on stage and you just like and everybody just hears like the first like guitar ring and like or you just hear like everybody freak out and like you can see like the crowd moving and like just like staring at us and we're talking like almost 300 people in a venue just like watching like getting down to us.
That's awesome.
And we're just like. You know, like what? Like this is
how is this happening?
This is insane, man. Like this is like because like we were gone for so long, like you know, and people were still messaging us like individually because most of them were our friends, and they're like, hey man, like so what's going on with your band? Like are you guys gonna do anything? Or like we're working on some stuff, like whatever, like you know, trying to just like not talk about it or anything because we're just keeping to ourselves as much as we can. And that gets after that show. We played 2 new songs. Like one song was nowhere near being done. That there was no lyrics for like most of it. Like it was such a new song. Like we literally had just written it like a week and a half before, like everything together. And we were like, we should add this in there. And we're like, we know we don't have anything really written yet. Like the song's written, but like we just need the lyrics. He's like, let's just do what we can. And like it's gonna be great, like people will love it, and people loved it. And then
that's
our
awesome.
guitarist ended up staying with us. Like we were like, yeah, because both of us were like, they were like, well, everybody's like, so glad you're back in the band, like telling the guitarist, and I'm like, he's not in the band yet. Like we don't know if he's gonna stick or not. And then also he's like, yeah, dude, I'm just here to like play the show with you guys, like because we literally got him just for that.
Yeah,
and we played, and then like 2 weeks later, like his stepdad knew some guy in Fresno, which was like 45 minutes away from where we all lived, and he owned a studio. And he was like, I'll give you guys some studio time.
That's awesome.
And we're like, cool. And we did 3 songs. We spent like 12 hours in the studio, like recording these songs. You know, they had never recorded anything like us, and they were just like,
that's awesome.
We're like, awesome, man. And then like from then on, like they got us a show in Fresno, like 21 and older bar. We were all like 19, 18, 19 years old, so like we couldn't even stay after the show. And then we just started booking shows. Like we just started booking a bunch of shows, and we're like driving an hour and a half away, 2 hours, 3 hours to like play these shows to get like this weird discovery going on. And it was awesome, man. But every single time we'd go play, it was just like this weird gut feeling that you'd get. Like you're just like, oh my God, because we're playing with bigger bands. We're playing with bands that we've like looked up to or listened to, and we're just sitting there going, oh my God,
we're
like,
here.
Like, they're playing after us. Like, whatever we do is like it's gonna suck compared to these guys and stuff like that. And ultimately for us, like we were lucky enough for like to have people go like, you guys were really good. We liked you guys. Like, my God, when are you guys coming back? And then all of us being like super awkward and weird, we're like, yeah, thanks, man. Like,
cool.
Like I hate hearing about myself, and I hate that stuff. So like whenever somebody would be like, you did such a good job, I'm like, thanks, man. Walk away. But yeah, man, I think that's something that everybody has to get over. Like, I guess it's not get over it. It's learn to deal with it, because that feeling's never going to go away, and that feeling is always precious. It's such a beautiful feeling to have, because like to be able to go out and do something every day and then have that, like, are they gonna like it kind of deal is cool. Just don't let it drive you is really the concern. It's like it's okay to have that worry, that's okay, but don't let it be like, I'm gonna do this cosplay because 15 of my fans want me to do this over this. Like, like, no, do it because it makes you happy, and that's what you want to do. And that was kind of what I got out of that whole thing. It was like, like, we're doing this because we love doing it. Like, not because everybody like are like, oh, we like we got that a lot. We liked your old stuff better. We like this heavier stuff better. And we're just like, that's cool, man, but this is what we like. Like,
this is what we want to do.
This is what we want. And like, you can see the transition. Like, I was talking the other day to a bunch of the old band members, and I was like, oh, like, it's such a bummer we never recorded these two songs. Yeah. Because we went from what we were doing, and there was influences in a bunch of these new songs that we were writing at the time that I'm like, these are completely different from what we are. Yeah. And I don't know. I think it's like we kind of just like pulled back a little bit as well, because we heard everybody going like, oh, well, you did this, you did that. And we were young, dude. We were...
You wanted that, like, affirmation.
Yeah, we wanted that. And we were 18, 19 years old. Yeah. Like, and our drummer was 15.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think our guitarist was 21. So one of our guitarists was 21. Two of us were 19. One of them was 20. And the bassist was 18. And then our drummer was 15 years old.
Wow.
So we were like when we all met in high school. Like, except for one of the guitarists, like he was the brother of one of our other guitarists that were kicked out of the band. But he ended up coming in for keys, not for the guitar. Then he just ended up taking over.
Well, there we go.
So we got like really lucky that right then and there, that he was willing to stay. But yeah, like it's weird, like because like we were such a young group of kids, like, and we're gaining, like I remember almost overnight we went from like 600 like likes on Facebook to like 1,000, and we were just like,
you guys blew up.
We were like, what the hell, dude? Like, this is crazy, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's kind of it. Like, it's like, it sucks because you're always going to have that fear, but it's okay. I think that's the biggest thing about it.
Yeah, and I can completely understand it, but that's the life of a creator, really. Like, cosplay, music, what have you, whatever you're doing, you're going to face those challenges. You're going to have that, like, nervous part at the beginning, like you mentioned earlier. Like, when I started this podcast, I didn't know how it was going to be received. I didn't know how I was going to start it. It started off as a school project, and I wasn't sure if I was going to keep up with it or not. But after I did that interview with Omega Shrine, or Steven, it sealed it for me. It's something that I knew I wanted to do, because like what just happened here, I asked you one question about something that you're passionate about.
It can just
boom.
It can just explode, man.
It blossoms into a whole other conversation, and that's what I like to see, is seeing that like spark in somebody's eye. Like, if they're super passionate about building costumes for something, let them do that. Let them talk about it. Let them have their fun, because God knows,
who's to know? There might be some kid who's listening right now who's like, man, I really wish I could start a band, or I really wish I could do cosplay, but you know, I have this weird fear in my mind the whole time that I'm not good enough. And Steven says, I just started from scratch real quick. Yeah, this kid's like, I didn't have any skill whatsoever. I just did it, and he's just like, wow. He's like, well, maybe I can do it. Maybe I can get in that.
Exactly.
Like, and I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that's what I hope people get out of this podcast, is they hear how these cosplayers are getting things done, because I'm interviewing people that they're not rich by any means. They're good people. They're everyday people, and they're still managing to do this thing that they have a ton of fun doing. Yeah, and that's something that I feel a lot of people end up having like a misconception about with cosplays. You have to be rich to do it. Yeah. Which, yes, there are some people that got wealthy off of doing this, like Jessica Negri, Yaya Hun. I'm sure they make decent money just doing cosplays, but they're probably doing a bunch of other stuff. Yeah. Like, that's not something they decided when they were little to just grow up and strive to be this successful cosplayer. No, yeah. I can almost guarantee you, if you were to meet them when they first started their careers in cosplay, they were doing it because they loved it. Yeah. Like, you don't need to do it because somebody else wants you to.
They were the luck of the draw at that point.
Exactly. And that's one of the things, like, if you're in something just because it'll make you money, or because it's in high demand, or everybody else is doing it, or whatever the reason is, if it's not something that you enjoy, that thing is not going to last very long. Yeah. Like, you will always have people that are like, oh, why'd you become a YouTuber? Yeah. Like, I decided I was going to be a YouTuber because everybody else is doing it, and I know they're making good money off of it. It's like, okay, well, do you enjoy it? Not really. There's a lot of editing involved.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, things like that. It's like, okay, well, what do you like to do? I don't know. Probably, like, nothing. Go play games. I don't know. Yeah. Like, you get to these people, they're only doing things because it's popular. They're doing it because it seems like the thing to do. Yeah. But then you get the other people that are like, oh yeah, I want to get into YouTubing, or I want to get into podcasting, or I want to get into cosplaying. And they get into it and they realize it's not their thing. More power to them. Yeah. Keep searching for that, you know?
Yeah, keep that drive up. And I think somewhere along the line, when you have your, because so there's Ninja, you know, Ninja is, right? Yeah, biggest whatever Fortnite streamer, right? I think that's what he does. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. I'm not
something like that.
He's a streamer.
It sounds familiar.
But his thing, like he was featured in an ESPN magazine. You know that, right?
I did not.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
Yeah, crazy, right? On one of the articles, I read it because I was at like the doctor's office, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Ninja, that's cool." Yeah. And he was talking about, like, they're like, how many video games do you like? Do you play a lot? And he goes, "No, I play Fortnite." He's like, "When I play video games, I play Fortnite and I stream it." He's like, "I don't play anything else. I don't play Fortnite on my free time." He's like, "Why? Because that's my job." Yep. He's like, "As much as I enjoy playing it, he's like, I'm also really good at it." He's like, "But it's my job." He's like, "So like at a certain point, it's like I love doing it when I'm doing it as my job." He's like, "But at the same time, like, I can't just
you need to keep it separate.
I can't be doing it all the time."
Yeah.
He's like, because then that kind of you run.
It takes the fun out of it. Yeah.
Like, I'm doing this as my job. Well, it's fun, but I'm also trying to do this for fun. Like,
yeah, and that's what I kind of want to make of like this podcast. Is I would love to make this my job, because if I'm getting paid to sit down and talk with people about what they're most passionate about, and then put it out into the world, then I will have gotten paid doing something that I love doing. Like, this is a lot of fun for me. Yeah. Like, yeah, this is take 2, but we're already 34 minutes into this.
And it's a completely different podcast.
Yeah, it's a completely different podcast. Already, yeah. But it's. I feel like it's going a little bit better this time around.
Yeah, no, you can hear me, so
yeah. The important parts. I had the mic turned off. Anyways, yeah. You were quoting my episode 2, the interview with Steven, pretty well. So you listen in relatively often, then, right?
Yeah, I do.
What would you say your favorite episode has been so far?
I would want to say that it's definitely Steven's. and only because like right off the get go, I got how passionate he was. Like I didn't have to, and no offense to like Emily or your friend or anything, right? It's more so like it was the second episode in for you, and you could tell like how like nervous you kind of were to like kind of do it because it was the first like interview for you, but you were also very comfortable.
Hit the ground
with
running
him
kind of thing,
because you got it. Like you're like, I know him. Like, it's a little easier to go through, and his like just his explanation on why he does it and how important it is to just go and do that stuff. I think that's what kind of got it, and then also like his choices in cosplaying and just like his dedication to work. And I follow him on Instagram. I follow her on Instagram too. Like, immediately afterwards, I was just like, I gotta follow these guys because they're both genuinely like interested in these in this and like not just like, well, I do cosplay because I like to dress up, which is a good factor. They do like to dress up,
definitely,
don't get me wrong, they love to dress up, but there's more to it. Like there's more to them than just that. It's not just a one-sided character, It's a great three-dimensional character where they have so many other things, and there's a lot of development going on between them in their own minds, and you see it come out when they release these. Like you can tell that when they're in costume, they feel like they're in power.
Definitely.
They feel great about themselves, and like that's kind of the outlet. It's like any outlet that you choose. Like if you're happy with it, like you'll feel great. Like you'll feel like accomplished no matter what. Like like when we're talking about the band, like I felt great after every set. Like although I was still nervous and like people were like telling me stuff, like I was just like, I remember being like so confident afterwards and be like, dude, we did such a good job. Like I'm so happy. Like with this. And that's like I got that message directly from him through that podcast, and I think that's what I loved about it so much.
That's awesome. Yeah. That being said, do you have a favorite cosplayer? Because I know you said you're vaguely familiar with the cosplay community.
No one off the top of my head. Like I said, like the only person I can remember right now is like Jessica Negri, and that's just because
big name.
That's just a big name. I don't know, man. I do follow a few people, and I've seen a few YouTubers that still cosplay and stuff like that. Do you ever watch Rooster Teeth's Achievement Hunters? Did you ever watch those?
I used to.
I think it's the Try Guys, not the Try Guys.
Let's say that's BuzzFeed.
Slow-mo guys.
Yes.
So Gavin, who Gavin is, his girlfriend, she's a cosplayer too. She does some crazy stuff. I just don't remember her name right now. I'm so sorry if you're listening for some reason.
Somehow, if this reaches
you, I apologize.
Man, I'd laugh so hard if this is the episode that blows up, makes my channel go viral. And it's just
me like not remembering anybody's names.
They all come in, by the way, that was me.
You're like, it's like, this is who he's talking about. Like, he knows my husband. Like, oh god,
that would be one, amazing if I got that big to where that actually happened, and two, absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, just like immediately, just like bashing me immediately. Just like, oh.
By the way, episode 5.
He's like, he doesn't know anything. I'm like, sorry, man, it's been a long time. I've gone through so much content on YouTube. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like sometimes like they all blend together. And there's a lot of things that I do. But I don't know, man. I appreciate more definitely the craft than anything. I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think and I appreciate that in anything. Like anybody who can dedicate their time, their own money, or just anything to it, to whatever they love. I think that's amazing. I think, and it shows like I said, it shows on an individual when they love it.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely.
You can see
100%.
And that's what really sells you. It's that, because you can have some rags on and call it your cosplay, but like, hey dude, how much time like you spent? Like, I spent so much time on this, and I'm so happy with the way it came out. It's like, look at that.
That as long as they're happy,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, you are happy with what you created.
Yeah.
And that's all I care about. And that makes me happy. Like that makes me want to do more. Like with myself. Like like I said, like the biggest problem with me is like I can't dedicate that much time, man. Like podcasts are easy, man. I can record.
Just press record and talk all day.
Record, and then I just edit a little bit. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it takes a couple hours, like because I'm just like messing with stuff, and I'm like, oh, maybe I didn't do this, and I'll like go and like I'll I'll like mess with some stuff, but
no, it's like I say.
Physically, I'm not moving anything though.
Yeah, it's like I say when I'm teaching the photography class at work. It's like, as long as it comes out the way that you want it to, as long as you're happy with the byproduct, then you did an awesome job. That is fantastic. Like, couldn't have done it better myself. But if you didn't get it right, or you have it kind of subpar to your standards, get your life together, man. Like, it's one of those things. Like, it's like, I don't know if we mentioned it in this episode yet, or in this take two, but I know in take one, the thing that we mentioned was really the biggest thing, and this is a lot of things that people forget a lot of the time, is your biggest obstacle will always be yourself.
Yeah, that's it. And I think, and then I mentioned it at the end, I think, as well.
Yeah,
but that's, it really is it. Like the biggest struggle you deal with is whatever you have going on internally, because there's always, we as the people that we are as individuals, we, no matter how you walk around with this big old chip on your shoulder or not, there's always like this weird thing in the back of your mind who's like triggering you, going like, you're not good enough, or you're like, that could have been better. Like, there's always that. That.
But it's that willingness and that motivation to push through that I think really makes, like, it really defines a person. Yeah,
exactly. Because you see it. I mean, you see it in every type of deal, like any format, any release.
Definitely.
Anybody who does any kind of craft, they're like they're doing it because they can, and they've figured out a way to get into that. Yeah, get over themselves. And that's not to say that everybody's happy, of course.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, like, they love doing it, and they're willing to work. They're willing to work as hard as they can.
And as long as you have that, again, that drive, that motivation, then awesome, power to you.
Exactly.
Well, you've been listening to this channel since day one. What would you like to see in future episodes, or just in the future of the podcast?
Me back. I would like to hear this episode with my audio.
We'll definitely do that.
To do that one, and then we'll do we'll just release the other one anyway.
Dude, your mic is off.
Imagine. I'd be like, kidding me right now? Just like flips the table. God. I don't know, man. I like what you're doing already. I think if you can get more of a wider, I guess, group of individuals as well.
Yeah.
Because you're already talking about doing that group.
Yeah, the Planet Girls Denver.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I think
I'm excited for that.
That'll be a cool little take.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be a lot of work, a lot of structuring out for you, though.
There's like 5 people in that group, and being able to communicate 5 to 1, it'll be easy for them, tough on me. Exactly. So you.
And you gotta call them by which sailor they are, though.
See, so there's my problem. I am horrible with names. Literally, the only reason why I remember Steven's name is because I talked with him for 45 minutes. The only reason why I remember Emily's name is because I talked with her for 45 minutes. I don't remember any of the other members' names. Like, I am horrible with names. Unless I actually get to sit down and have a conversation with you, there's a very good chance I'm not going to remember that right away.
I don't even know what your name is right now. We're only 43 minutes in, dude. 2 minutes, wait. Like, in 2 minutes, I'll remember your name.
Exactly. The sad part is I've known you for 3.5 years.
Yeah, I want to hear that. I want to hear more of that from you. I guess doing what you want to do, like, as far as asking the questions on why, not just for them, like why do you do this, why do you love it so much, what drives you every day to keep on doing this. I think those are the questions that I want you to ask from them. And I also I want to see you posting about this a little bit more. Right?
Yeah, that's on I struggle
on your own main social medias, and then also your cosplay ones. How you're going to build a foundation without anything else, right? And I think that'll be very beneficial for you, because it is interesting stuff that you're talking about, and I think
I appreciate that.
People do need to hear that. People need to get rid of that stigma. Whatever they don't like or they don't understand is just a negative thing, and it's throw it out the window. I don't want it. I don't like it. Like an old man just they're in the 60s, and you're like, dude, I get it.
Yep.
Like, stop. Like, we get where you stand, but like things change, man. People do different.
Exactly.
We have different things now. Like, back then, a lot of things didn't exist.
Yep.
Now cosplay's a thing. Like,
yep.
All the time. Like we love it. We love seeing it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We love seeing it. We love seeing people put all of their hard work into this,
displaying it for the world, really.
and then being brave enough to stand up and wear it and walk around. Like, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that's what I expect a little bit more. That's what I want from you.
Yeah. Well, that's actually lines up pretty much perfectly with my plans for this podcast. Is definitely going to start kind of branding out a little bit more in terms of like what I want the channel to look like or the podcast to look like. Definitely doing a lot more promoting because I'm horrible with that. But
just shove it down people's throats, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
What you got to do is just got to fill that bottle up and just throw it down their throats.
Oh yeah, just stick a funnel. But I'm actually working on a website so that way people can get updates on there, do like newsletters and things along those lines. Try to get something like that started. But I have also been kind of working on figuring out what exactly I want to do in terms of like social media wise, because that is the biggest platform. And I realized recently that the biggest platform to this day is still Twitter. And I actually just created a Twitter for this podcast, which I'm relatively proud of, but I'm also like, I've stooped to that level.
It's so funny because I actually just deleted my Twitter, my main Twitter this year.
Yep.
So early this year I deleted like all social media. Like I just got rid of all of it real quick for probably like 5 months.
Yeah.
And then I started doing this, and then I was like, I completely deleted my Twitter. I was like, all right, now I got to restart, and that's why I started one for the podcast specifically. Like, and that's pretty much primarily what I'm doing. Like, if I got to figure out a way to split my page up on Facebook, so I can probably get rid of my Facebook as well. But that's pretty much all I'm doing right now, man. I feel it. Like, I feel like, oh yeah, and it's hard to like. Because you don't want to be, like, especially if you're doing it on your own page, like, you don't want to be that annoying person either.
Oh, God, yeah. Hey, check out my channel. Make sure you go look at my Facebook fan page.
Yeah, do this, do that, do this. So you don't want to do that. So, like, definitely take it in steps. But at the same time, how are you going to grow?
Exactly.
Right? That's like, so it's give and take. Like, it's like if those people don't want to support you and you lose them along the way, that's okay. Yeah. Because the people that you do gain who actually care will be there. So
definitely. Yeah, and that's one of the things that's also my future plans for this. I'm going to start seeking out like sponsorships. Yeah. Just to try and get people to really invest in this so that way, one, I can actually, like I said earlier, make this a job because it would be fun. Yeah. But two, getting paid to do this kind of content, one, would not only make things so much easier because then I can have this set up at home. I can travel to other places and talk with cosplayers or fly cosplayers, and like now I'm not just local Cosplay Colorado. Exactly. I'm Cosplay Colorado with a guest from New York. I'm Cosplay Colorado with a guest from LA. Like people like that. Like that would be fun.
And a big perk for you right now, like let's say you do get in contact with somebody who's a little bigger. Yeah. Nobody says they have to come out here.
Exactly. We could even do like Skype call.
Yeah, we have so many things like available to us now. And like I've said before, like nobody's taking advantage of it. Yeah. Why? Because we're just not. But man, we have the technology available to us right now. We can literally record wherever we want at any time, and the audio levels won't be the best, but like at the same time, you can just have them in there for like a quick 20 minutes of and you can have like an hour podcast and be like, okay, well let me get so and so in real quick and
definitely
ask some questions. Like this is all the time I have, and let's have this conversation. Like and that can help you grow. Like and it doesn't necessarily have to be out of there, and then eventually you can grow into that. And and I think that's what's really cool about where we are in time. Oh yeah, we have so much available to us, and we are barely at like the beginning of it. So.
And I think eventually down the line, if I do make this like my profession, I eventually want to have like an office, so that way instead of having this like in a home, I have like an office down somewhere, just to go record, edit, do all that fun stuff, upload, bring people down and have them interview in there, because it'd be fun. It'd be really cool. But my biggest goal, I think, for me right now is and this is probably a super, super big goal. It may or may not be achievable. Yeah. It depends on you guys listening right now, how much you share this, and how much or how wide of an audience I can get with this. But one of my goals, I want to be invited as a guest to Denver Pop Culture Con, just to talk about podcasting with cosplayers.
Yeah,
like that would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
That would be like a huge sign of success for me. Like that's all. Even if I don't like gain followers or anything, I don't care. If I get invited to even have like a small panel where only 2 people show up or nobody shows up, I still got the invite. Like that would be fantastic. Like how many people can say that? Like I got a panel at Comic Con.
Jason David Frank has this panel on Hall H, and you're like same time, you're like, oh man, I guess I'm not gonna have anybody.
Exactly.
Like your parents are even at Jason David Frank's panel.
Yep. They'd be saving me a seat at that point, to be completely honest with you.
It's like, his runs for an hour, yours is only running for 20 minutes. It's fine, buddy. You can make it.
It'll be all right. Just go. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Angel. Go ahead and tell them where they can find you.
You can find me under Illiterate and Childish on Instagram, on Facebook. Listen to me on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and also on podbean.com. If you're looking to follow me on Twitter, it is Elit and Child, because it was too long. Yeah, check it out, man. Going through a whole new thing on my podcast, and hope to see some new followers there. So
there we go.
Thank you for having me, Roger.
Of course. And thank all of you for listening, making this all... worthwhile, really. It would be a little bit awkward if I'm just uploading all this and nobody's listening. So thank all of you for listening. Special shout out to Scientista Cosplay for all the questions, for all the cosplayers so far, all 2 of them. And thank you, Steven, otherwise known as Omega Shrine Cosplay. Thank you, Emily, otherwise known as Glitter Bomb Cosplay. And thank all of you, the listeners. You guys are awesome, and keep up the listening. Stay tuned, and remember, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, comment, do all the social media things. Go check out Angel, Illiterate and Childish on social medias, and we'll see you next time.